Good morning, well, this is Ivan Mayer. Hope you guys enjoyed my video I made yesterday. Talk about Skiv Source, Peter Jackson, all that stuff. The Skiv Source speaking fee, big deal. The Skiv Source speaking, the Skiv Source speaking fee deal for my company is a massive deal. Me and VG are gonna make like our $10 million. And the actors will be pulling in there like $800K, $1 million, most likely $1 million in speaking. I made coffee. I'm gonna go seriously get a coffee myself, guys. Yeah, I'm off today. I just woke up. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, so yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed my show I made yesterday. That was a sick video, I know. That was a sick video. Do you have a good sleep? Do you have a good sleep, Ivan? Yeah, I had a good sleep. I had a good like 9 hours of sleep. I slept for 9 hours. Yeah. So the speaking fee deal is a huge deal. Yeah, the speaking fee deal for my company is a mega deal. It's a massive deal. It's like a $600,000 deal to like a $1 million, $1.2 million deal, man. So it's a huge deal. Actors in Hollywood don't make that, man. They make like their $75K, $100K for Comic-Con. Yeah, it was my world tour. It's a big deal because I'm gonna have venues of like 20,000 fans. 20,000 fans at the venue. So it's crazy. That's why me and VG are gonna make a lot of money off the speaking fees. Yeah, and the actors are gonna make like $1 million speaking. Yeah, that's why Peter Jackson wants to make a chunk of that for the world tour. He's greedy. Yeah, I deserve a bit more than that. I'm like, Peter, I'm not paying more, man. You're fucking greedy, man. Yeah, it's a greedy pig, Peter. Yeah. Why does Peter want more? Because Peter Jackson knows he's much bigger than the actors, so he feels like he deserves a bigger chunk of the pie. Peter. Hence why Peter Jackson, he feels like he deserves it more. Because he knows he's much bigger than the actors. He wants a bigger chunk of the pie, Peter. Peter Jackson. He's a greedy pig, yeah. He wants to make like his 2 million, 2.5 million odds speaking. It was a bigger chunk of the pie, yeah. Ivan, like, you're greedy too, man. You're making like your $10 million and you're giving us the peanuts. I'm like, Peter, I'm not giving you the peanuts. I'm making sure you guys get paid well, good money, man. You're acting as if you're making shitty money. You're making very good money, Peter. You're making like your $1 million is making. You don't make this in Hollywood. Yeah, in Hollywood I make like my 100K, my 75K for Comic-Con. Yes. And you're making like your 1 million speaking here. Because Peter's greedy, he wants to make a chunk of that. He wants to make double, like 2 million, 2.5. He's greedy. That's why you might tell me, you should charge like 9% of the royalties. I'm like, no, Peter, I'm not going to take 9% of the royalties. The organizers are going to make no money for themselves. I'm taking 50% of the money. I don't want to be an asshole, a greedy pig like Peter, man. Whereby I take everything and the owners make like no money for themselves. Even if I take 7%, the owners are not making that much money, right? Yeah. Because Ivan should take at least like 70%, man. Because he wants a bigger paycheck, Peter. Yeah. Like 30% they're making good money. They're making not bad money. I'm still being a bit too harsh if I take 70%. Yeah. If I take 7%, I'll be pulling in, I don't know, like my 600,000. They only make 200K, maybe 220. I make maybe 580,000. They make like 200K. 200K or something like that. 220K. You know what I'm saying? Because that's good. They probably paid like 15K to rent the venue. They made 200K. That's a good paycheck. I know, Peter, but you're being greedy, man. I'm not going to take 70% of the pie. No, I'll take 50%. That way the owners The organizers make good money, man. They rented the venue, they gotta make some good money for themselves, Peter. Stop being greedy, Sarah. Yeah, man. So Peter's a greedy pig. Yeah. Peter Jackson's a greedy pig. He's a greedy animal, Peter. Yeah. Peter Jackson's a greedy pig. He's a greedy animal. Are you shocked why he wants more? No, because everyone in this world wants to make more money for themselves. No amount of money in this world is ever enough for anybody. So even though Peter Jackson knows he signed his massive deal, he wants more. He wants to make more money for the world tour. He knows my world tour is a big deal. Because they'll ask me, Ivan, like, how many places are we speaking at? I don't know, Peter, like 80 places. Like 80 places? How big are the venues out, Peter? On average, like 20,000 fans. Holy shit. Are we getting a piece of it, Ivan? I'm like, yeah, Peter. How much are you taking? Yeah, 50%. And how much are you charging the fans? Yeah, they're charging fans like $40. Peter knows it's a massive deal. He wants a bigger chunk of that. He wants to make like his $2-3 million in speaking. He's greedy. He's a greedy pig, Peter. Yeah. Mel Gibson's greedy too. Mel Gibson might want more money too. I get more money. I'm like, no, Mel. Get an equal amount of actors. Stop being greedy. So Mel's a greedy pig too, man. He might want more money too, Mel Gibson, because he's much bigger than all the actors. Mel Gibson might ask me, am I going to get more for the world tour? I'm like, no, Mel, you get an equal amount of the actors. I'm not paying more money, Mel, so you're getting greedy. Whatever I choose, right? Yeah. Yeah. Peter Jackson knows the world tour deal is a mega deal, man. That's why Peter Jackson wants a big chunk of the pie, man. He's greedy. Yeah. I make coffee, guys. I'm gonna go sit up my coffee. Whereas the Hollywood actors won't complain because they know they're getting paid good money. Whereas Peter Jackson, because he's much bigger than them, he feels like he's getting ripped off. He feels like I'm ripping him off. I deserve more, man. I'm bigger than them. I'm like, no, Peter, you're not getting more. You got to equal amount of the actors. I'm already paying you more than enough on what you're making in Hollywood. I'm not going to let you do like that, Peter. Sarah. I'm not going to give you like $3 million of my money. Me and BJ only make like $6 million. No, man. You're taking a chunk of our money. I'm not paying you more money. You got to equal amount of the actors. I'm already paying way more than everyone else for your contract. For the world tour, you make your $1 million. That's good. That's a good deal for you, Peter. He's like, fine, whatever, man. He's a bit pissed off. I'm like, Peter, you pissed off? Yeah, I deserve a bit more of this, man. I'm like, Peter, man, you're fucking greedy. I'm not gonna pay more money, man. Yeah. Peter's a greedy pig. Peter Jackson's a greedy pig. Greedy animal. Samsara? He's a greedy pig. He's a greedy animal, Peter Jackson. Yeah. Peter Jackson's a greedy pig. He's a greedy animal, Peter Jackson. That's why he wants a bigger chunk of that, Peter. He's greedy. Yeah. Will your world tour just be you, Peter, and the actors like speaking at an event? Yeah. Like, will you have one-on-one interviews? Maybe. The people might interview us one-on-one, but I highly doubt it. There was no point of doing a one-on-one interview if they're not going to film it, right? So, but I might be doing one-on-one interviews too. Like something like Hollywood Reporter, where like we have a round table, they sit down, they interview us. I might do something like that too, but it's most likely going to be just us at the event speaking. We sit down and we speak. We might be doing one-on-one interviews too, and all stuff. Yeah, and round tables, something like that. So, maybe too, right? Yeah. Obviously, it's crazy. Yeah, it's a crazy world tour. My company. And the speaking for those are a huge deal for the actors. That's why the agents and managers want a bigger chunk of that. They want their 10%. Because they're greedy. Asian actors are greedy, yeah. Yeah, Yak is making millions, speaking more on 100K, Ivan. Yeah, you get your money, guys. But in 2000 you don't touch. Sarah? 2000 you don't touch. Hey, give me a sec, guys. I'm gonna go to get my coffee. Be back in a sec. Still, you don't wait. Don't hate you, son. We gotta do this show. Alright, back, guys. I want to get my coffee. Yeah, man, that's what my coffee's gonna blow out of the water. It's gonna blow out of the water, yeah, man. Yakkos get paid a lot of money for speaking, man. Not exclusive, already rich contract. Yeah, man. And somebody called me blow out of the water. That's why VJ cries you, Ivan. Because she knows she got duped by the gays and she wants me to get out of Hollywood. Because VJ knows I can just take my money and live my life on my own. I can easily tell the gays I don't want to save my wife. I want to live on my own. I can tell them that. Yeah, she knows that. Hence why she's crazy. Because she knows, yeah, I just have to deal with my mess. But I know if I don't save my wife, I'll be miserable. Because VJ is the cure to my mental illness and my anxiety. She's my spirit. She's blue. So if I stay green, I'll be fucked up. I'll feel like coming out, and VJ's the cure to all that, man. She's the cure to my happiness, and she's a cure to healing my mind and my mental illness, obviously, my mental issues. Yeah. So if you don't say VJ will become a crazy woman. Yeah, she'll be like a crazy psychotic woman, like Bella in New Moon. She'd be depressed. She'd be going psycho. She'd be crying. Harry hears me every night, knowing she never has your husband. She'd be crushed, man. But you guys are not going to trap me that choice. You're going to give me the two choices. Because you know I'll never leave my wife. So either you die to be with your wife and you get your financial control, or you sell. You sell and share with the world. And I choose to die. I'm not going to let you do that, man. No way. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. Yeah. So when the actors go on the world tour, they're gonna be shocked. Yeah, like holy shit, man. Ivan's car blows out of the water. His world tour, he has like 20,000 fans, man. This is crazy. And we're getting paid like a lot of money for this. Yeah, like they're $10,000, $15,000 checks. And they start to do the math. Holy shit, if we speak at 80 places, we'll be pulling in our 800 to a million, even a million one in speaking. Holy shit, Ivan's car blows out of the water. This is how some of us make for our movie contracts. And we're making this for speaking? Yeah, for speaking. make like your $1 million in speaking, man. Yeah. Some actors might get greedy. Ivan, are we going to get a bigger chunk of your money? I'm like, no, man. I'm not giving you a bigger chunk of my money. I'm giving you a nice piece of my money, but me and VJ are taking the majority of the money. We're the boss. You're not getting a bigger chunk of me and VJ's money, man. You're getting greedy, guys. Well, the actors won't be greedy with the world. They know I'm being very generous. I can easily be cheap and take even more of the money. Peter's Ivan, like, you're crazy, man. If I were you, I would be taking way more of the money. I know, Peter, because you're greedy. If Peter Jackson went world touring with the actors, he'd probably give like a little bit of his money. The actors might make maybe $200K, Peter, because Peter's greedy. I would take that out for myself. I know, Peter, because you're greedy. Whereas me, I'm greedy, but I'm generous. I'm making sure the actors get paid good money. Yeah, I speak at a venue of 20,000 fans. 20,000 fans of the event. The organizers make $800K. Me and VJ take $400K. The organizers take $400K. I take $240. Me and VJ take $240K. I split $160K with the actors. The actors make $10 grand. $10 is a nice paycheck for one event, man. Me and VJ are making way more than them, but the actors are getting paid good money. Let's say all my venues average 20,000 people. We speak at 80 places. I don't know, 60 of those places are 20,000 people. 20 of those places have like 43,000 people. The actors will make their $1 million in speaking. $1 million plus in speaking, yeah. Nice paging. Hence why I'm going to provide you guys with your Ziploc bags. I'll give you guys maybe 4 Ziploc bags. Put the checks in your Ziploc bags. I don't need a Ziploc bag. No, put it in your Ziploc bag. You don't want to do a thing where you can't fit all your checks in your wallet. And you don't want to do a thing where you put all your checks in your briefcase. You can lose it. The best place, put it in a safe place where it's all stored in one place. Your Ziploc bag is good. You put it in your Ziploc bag. A big Ziploc bag. You put all your checks in there. Okay, guys, I recommend you do that. If you don't do that and you lose your check, I'm not going to compensate you, man. And the actors will be pissed off if they lose some of their checks. Make sure you put it in your Ziploc bag. And your agents are taking 10% of this, guys. You have to pay your agents. That's how it works, right? Yeah. All those things, I was like, holy shit, man, Ivan's company blows out of the water. Yeah, they're experiencing that glory and success and fame with me and VJ, man. It's fun to go on a world tour with I and VJ, and every city we land in, the whole city's cheering us on. All the fans are going crazy, man, for the movie. That's why the actors are on top of the world. And the actors might post a video on their social media before the interview is about to call us out. Hey guys, I'm about to get interviewed, and you hear all the roaring fans. I give you Ivan Omer, and like, ah, you hear like the fans roaring. It's crazy. All the hard actors like, holy shit, man. It looks like Ivan's having a blast. Those actors, man. It looks like those actors are having a blast. And Ivan's comedy looks way better than Hollywood. Yeah, his world tour is crazy. Yeah, it's crazy in Star Wars Celebration, man. It's crazy in Star Wars Celebration. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy in Star Wars Celebration, my world tour. It's crazy, yeah. As I he's like, oh my god, Ivan, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god, I feel so on top of the world. This is fun, Ivan. I know, VJ, it's fun, sweetie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, now I know why you cried. Yeah, I don't want to miss out. Are you fucking crazy, Ivan? Yeah, she's tell me that. I don't want to miss out on this. I don't want to be left behind Hollywood under the gates with a shitty career. I wanted to be queen with you and experience such a fame with you, Ivan, and be the most famous producer around the world, be multi-billionaire with you, Ivan. I know, VJ, because you're fucking evil, man. Yeah, man, that's why she cries to you, Ivan. She's a crazy woman toward justice. Yeah, man. But I told you I ignore her every night when I leave because I know she's going to keep bad guys after that. I can't take her seriously. She's a crazy woman. I'm talking to you, VJ. You can cry to me all night you want. I'm going to ignore you. Because you're a very weird woman. Like, you cry every tears me and saying you love me so much. And then after you say you love me so much and you cry to me, you stop crying. And then you text the guys and you go fuck them after that, man. You're a fucking crazy woman, man. That's why I can't take you seriously. You're crazy. You know I have mental issues already fucking my head. At least I'm faithful, man. Whereas you're a cheating whore. That's why I can't take you seriously. I'm sorry. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. Peter's like, Ivan, this is fun. I know, Peter. Well, Ivan, seriously, man, Ivan, your speaking is blows hot of the water. This is much crazier than Comic Con and Star Celebration. I know, Peter. He's like, Ivan, like all your venues have like 20,000 fans. This is crazy, Ivan. I know, and I'm having a blast speaking. You know, saying it's fun. We're getting paid for this too. And I say, Ivan, I deserve a bit more of this. My Peter, I'm not paying more money, man. Stop being greedy, man. Okay, you get an equal amount with everyone else. Stop being greedy, Peter. For him, whatever, man. He's a bit pissed off. Ivan, like seriously, man, I deserve a bit more of this, man. I'm much bigger than them. I'm like, Peter, I'm paying way more than everyone else. I'm not gonna give you more than the actors. Peter, stop being greedy, Samsara. You're making your million in speaking. That's a lot of money for you, Peter. I mean, that's enough money for me. I was just messing with you, man. I want to be check it. Yeah, he's greedy. Yeah. But Peter, are you gonna donate some of your money in charity? He's like, fuck no, Ivan. I'm not donating shit. Peter's greedy. No, Ivan, I might donate maybe 100K in charity, Ivan. Because Peter's greedy. I'm not gonna donate like $1 million of my money. Nah, this is my money, Ivan. I'll donate maybe 150K in charity, Ivan. Peter might tell me that. Yeah. Yeah. Will you donate money in charity? Yeah, well, I might donate maybe 150 million in charity. I'm not gonna be stupid and donate like 500 $1 billion of my money to charity. You're being stupid with your money. That's my hard-earned money. I'll donate maybe VJ, we can donate maybe 150 million in charity. VJ, Ivan, we can donate 50 million. I'm like, VJ, stop being greedy. No, we can donate 150 million to charity. You can help out the people in India, Africa, clothing, food, and water. Help out the kids in Africa. Yeah, and the kids and families in India. Yeah. But I'm gonna do the charity myself. I don't trust these charity organizations. Because if you donate $150 million to a big charity organization, chances are they're gonna take most of your money and donate a little bit of it towards charity because they're greedy though. The people, when it comes to money, humans will are greedy. I'm like, VJ, we're gonna do the charity ourselves. I don't trust these organizations. If I donate $150 of my money, they might maybe take 100 million of it and donate 50 million to charity because they're greedy. The CEOs pocket the money and they donate a portion of it to charity because they're greedy, man. We live in a corrupt world when it comes to money, man. People are crazy when it comes to money. Yeah, man. So the actors will be feeling on top of World War War. Yeah, every city we land in, imagine the whole city cheering us on. The whole entire city. All the fans are going craziness in every city. And the venues have like 20,000 fans. The fans are roaring. And it's all trending. And the actors feel on top of the world. And they're guaranteed going to make videos. Yeah, I'm about to get an interview. You see Annie Serkis, John Maega, they make a video. Hey guys, I'm about to get interviewed. And they're about to call us out. You know what I'm saying? And you hear the fans roaring, oh, I give you Idol Man, I give you VJ, and they're roaring. Peter Jackson, and they're roaring. Went crazy. All the Hollywood actors like, holy shit, this world tour is crazy, man. This is much better than Hollywood. Yeah, it's much better than Hollywood. Oh man, I wish I could watch the interviews. Yeah, it's your fault. You chose to keep me behind the scenes as a world. I'm not going to bring the doc team to film it, man. I'm not going to have the doc team film 80 videos. No. 80 videos. It's not. No. It's behind the scenes. I didn't sell to the gates, man. And you get what you deserve. You chose to keep behind the scenes. I'm kept behind the scenes. You get what you deserve, man. I'm sorry. You get what you deserve. And there you go. So who will steal the show in the interview? Me and VJ are going to steal the show. But the actors are also going to give the fans a good experience. My guys, I'm paying you for this. Make sure you give the fans a good experience. I will. And the actors put in the work and they actually they entertain the fans. They give the fans, they crack jokes. They give the fans a good experience. Because they're getting paid for it, man. They ain't paid a lot of money for it, man. Yeah, they're 10 grand, 12 grand, 50 grand, 30 grand, 25 grand. They ain't paid for it because they work hard, obviously. And I'm spoiling them with perks, right? They're staying at the suites. They get 24-hour limo services. They're living the life during the World Tour. Parties, I'm gonna be doing a lot of parties with the actors, going to clubs, doing parties in my hotel room and all that stuff in the hotel room. Sometimes I'll do a party in the hotel room. Sometimes we'll go to a club. We go to a club, we have a good time. Sometimes we go to the bar. Downstairs we can do a little party in the bar. Where everyone drinks, we all get drunk and yeah. But during the World Tour, most of my parties will most likely be in the hotel room. All the actors are in the hotel room and we do a party. They'll do a party in me and VJ's hotel room. Because me and VJ are probably going to rent for me and VJ, you can rent a bit, maybe a $5,000-$6,000 suite because we're the boss. Or for the actors, they stay in the cheaper suites. $2,000-$3,000 night suite. Which is still fucking nice, obviously. Chances are they'll be staying in suites with jacuzzis and everything. Because a $2,000 suite's a nice fucking hotel room, man. That's a nice room. Yeah. Yeah. So the actors traveling, their traveling expenses are paid for. They'll be flying on my private jet. Their living expenses are paid for. They're staying in a lush hotel suite. And their feeding expenses are paid for too. They'll be eating at a restaurant. I'll be taking them out to a restaurant. No, Nitus takes his team out to a restaurant. Well, the actors will be going to a buffet restaurant for my world tour. Yeah. Go to a buffet restaurant, guys. That way the actors are fed well. Because you don't want to do the thing where you go to a standard restaurant, the actors eat one plate and they're still hungry. And after that, they might pitch in and order a pizza or something like that. No, go to a buffet restaurant where the actors are fed well for the world tour for Xanus. That way they're fed well for breakfast, dinner, and lunch. The actors. See what I'm saying? And they also get transportation expenses paid for too. They get 24-hour limo services. So if they want to go see a movie on theaters, if you guys want to see a movie on theaters, you're paying with your own money. But sometimes I'll take the actors out to the theaters, and it's on me. I pay for Peter and everything. Sometimes Peter might take the actors out to the theaters. Peter might sometimes Ivan. It's okay. It's on me. Peter might offer to pay sometimes. He's rich. He's so rich too, right? He's rich. Peter sometimes might take the stars out to the bar and he pays for everyone. Yeah, guys, let's go downstairs, have a beer. It's on me. I'll pay for you. Peter might do that sometimes because he's rich. He's a multi-billionaire too, right? Sometimes I'll go downstairs, I'll have a drink with the bar. It's on me. I'll pay for it. The parties, I'll pay for it. Me and VJ will pay for it. And sometimes I'll take the actors out to the theaters and it's on me. Me and VJ pay for it. But if you guys want to go have a beer downstairs with your co-stars at the bar, and you want to go see a movie on theaters and get clothes at the store for your kids and your wife and all that stuff, that's your own money. I'm not paying for you. You guys are already rich, and you made a lot of money off the movie. That's your own money. I'm not paying for you. But everything else is all paid for. You have to cover all the actors' expenses. Yeah. Because the agent told me, are the expenses covered? Of course it's covered. I'm not going to have the actors pay for that. No, all the expenses are covered for the world tour. If the actors will speak and we want our 10%, I'm like, yeah, you got your 10%, guys. Don't worry, you're going to get your 10%. The agents are greedy. Yeah. Hollywood actors, agents are greedy pigs. Yeah, man. They're greedy pigs, man. Yeah. Because they know if John Boyega makes $1.2 million in speaking, the agents make $120K off that. That's why John Boyega might be a bit pissed off. I'm like, yeah, John, you have to give the money you made off the world tour. You have to give 10% as your agent, John. Huh? He's like, I know, Ivan. He might be a bit pissed off. Yeah, sorry, John. The agent signed a contract. You have to give them 10% of your money, John. All the actors have to give their agents 10% of the money. Yeah. Some saying? That's why my coming blow out of the water. No, all the actors full of shit, man. Man, Ivan's coming looks like it blows out of the water. Yeah, it blows out of the water, man. It's better than Hollywood. Better than Hollywood, yeah. In Hollywood, the actors don't make $1 million speaking. No, they make like 75K, 50K, 100K for Comic-Con. So that's the only you get paid for speaking. Whereas my company, you get paid for speaking, man. Yeah, man. Some Sarah? Yeah. Will you guys do roundtable interviews? Yeah, maybe. We might be doing roundtable interviews, one-on-one interviews. Remember Peter Jackson's interview with that guy, Charlie? Back in 2002 when they interviewed Lord of the Rings? Yeah, they might do a thing where they interview us. We do a roundtable and they interview us too, yeah. And also, the main thing will be speaking in front of the crowd, but they might also do one-on-one interviews with Peter and all them. Yeah, but they're gonna work hard. They're gonna give them a good experience because they're getting paid for it. Peter's getting paid for it. That's why Peter wants to bring a chunk of that. He's greedy, man. No, I even seriously, man. Like, I deserve a nice like $2 million, this man. I'm like, Peter, man, stop being greedy, man. You get an equal amount of the actors. $1 million to speak is a lot of money, Peter. You don't make this in Hollywood. In Hollywood, you make like your 100K. Stop being greedy, Peter. I'm sorry. Yeah, because Peter's greedy. I understand why he wants more money because he's bigger than the actors. He knows he's much bigger than the actors. He's my star director. He's much bigger than everyone else. Like, all these Hollywood actors are puny compared to Peter. They're small compared to him. And that's why he feels like he's ripped off. He deserves a bit more money. I'm like, Peter, I'm not paying more money. You get an equal amount of the actors. When I'm Ivan, I'm like, no, Peter, you get an equal amount of the actors. Stop being greedy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Some Sarah? So Peter Jackson will have a lot of pressure. Yeah, he will. Him and Guillermo del Toro will be under so much pressure. When the interview him, they're gonna ask him a lot of tough questions. And Peter Jackson and Guillermo del Toro are going to be under a lot of pressure because they're the ones who are directing my movie. They don't have to worry about the critic reviews. But behind the scenes, people will be judging them, obviously. The interviewers are going to be asking a lot of questions. If Peter does one-on-one interviews with the people, they're going to ask them all these tough questions. And Peter Jackson and Guillermo del Toro will be under... I'm like, Peter, you're under a bit of pressure. Of course I am, Ivan, man. I'm directing your movie. You wrote a masterpiece. I don't want to fuck up your movie, Ivan. He's under a lot of pressure. Guillermo del Toro's under a lot of pressure. I'm under a lot of pressure because I'm the one who chose to hire Peter and Guillermo del Toro, and I also co-wrote the script with them. Hence why I'm also under a lot of pressure too. Yeah. So I don't want my movie to critically flop, right? Yeah, it will not flop financially. My movie will make its money. I don't want it flopping critically, artistically, right? That's why me, Peter, and Guillermo del Toro, and Vijay are under a lot of pressure, obviously. The actors are under a lot of pressure too. How well will their performance be? They're under a lot of pressure. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, Peter, you don't have to worry about the online hate and the critic reviews online. I didn't tell the gates. But behind the scenes, people will be talking, man. And the interviewers are going to be interviewing Peter, Guillermo del Toro, the actors. It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Peter will feel way more pressure for Xanus than he even did Lord of the Rings. You know, I feel the pressure a lot more than I did Lord of the Rings, man. This is an Ivan Vijay movie, yeah. He's directing a movie with me and Vijay, and the world read my book. It's the best fantasy novel ever written. Hence why Peter's under a lot of pressure. He doesn't want to fuck up my masterpiece, man. Yeah. But because he took his notes to get him all the Toro in the movie, we wrote the script together, amazing script together, the movie will be amazing. It'll be an amazing movie. Some Sarah. Will Peter get interviewed on like a Jimmy Fallon show and stuff? Well, no, they're not going to talk about my movie. I didn't sell to the gates, man. It's all behind the scenes. But behind it, for the world tour, he'll be getting a lot of interviews, Peter, again on tour. Guaranteed, me and the actors are going to be doing roundtables. Like Hollywood Reporter, they're going to be doing roundtables on stuff. What I could do, I could bring two of my cameramen with me. If we do roundtables, I can have the cameraman interview that, film that. But the when we talk with the fans in the building, I'm not going to interview that, film that. But the roundtable, we can film that, obviously. So I might bring two. I'm gonna ask the people: are you just doing like a thing where you interview us in the building, or you're gonna do one-on-one interviews with us and the roundtable? No, we're gonna do one-on-one interviews with you two on the roundtable. Okay, you mind if I film that? Yeah, you can film it. If the people say we're doing roundtables, and I'll bring like two of my doc team with me, they can film it. 3 of my camera with me, they can film it. Just the roundtable interviews, though. I one-on-one interviews with Peter and Peter Jackson and Guillermo Toro and the interviewer. But the main interview, when it's us in the building with thousands of fans, I'm not gonna film that. That I'm not gonna film. Yeah, guaranteed I will be doing roundtable interviews with the actors, like Hollywood Reporter. Yeah. Yeah, if we want to interview Peter Jackson and get him on tour, your director, right? We want to do a one-on-one interview with him. We want to do an interview in the building with all the fans. The main interview in the building with all the fans, I'm not going to film that. But the roundtable interviews, I can film that. If they say we're doing roundtable interviews, okay, I'll bring 2 of my doc team with me. 3 of my cameramen with me. They bring their cameras. They can film that, and you guys will. I'll release. You guys can see that. I'll have it be a part of the documentary. I can film that, but the main interview in front of all the fans, I'm not going to film that. So I'm sorry. That's behind the scenes. Don't hate him, son. Yeah. Gary Zerban, you chose to keep behind the scenes. You're missing out. That's how it works. Yeah. That's why Peter Jackson wants to bring a China. Ivan, man, seriously, man, I deserve a bit more of this, Peter. I'm like, VJ, should we pay Peter more to keep him happy? VJ's like, no, don't pay him more. We're already paying him enough. Yeah, I'm already paying your $1.4 deal, Peter. Stop being greedy. You're making way more than everyone else, even the Amazon CEOs. I'm not paying more for the World Tour, Peter. Stop being greedy. I deserve a bit more of this. I'm like, Peter, I'm not going to pay you more. Stop being greedy, man. He's like, fine, man. I know, Peter, you feel like I ripped you off because you're much bigger than the actors. Yeah, Ivan, man, I'm much bigger than him. I deserve a bigger paycheck, Ivan. This Peter's greedy. Yeah, he wants this $2.5 million for the speaking. He's a greedy pig. Ivan, this is fun. No, I know, Peter, this is fun. No, Ivan, seriously, man, I love, like, the people are interviewing me and getting more Toro, the round tables, the interview in front of the fans. This is fun, Ivan. I know, Peter, but it's all behind the scenes, man. It's not in the public eye. I don't know, it's crazy. Will film critics be at the event? Yeah. Yeah. Some film critics might want to interview Peter, me, VJ, and Peter, and we do a roundtable. They might want to interview us, but it's behind the scenes, obviously. It's not in the public eye. Yeah, some film critics might want to interview Peter and Guillermo Toro, but it's all behind the scenes. Okay, I'm going to tell the secretaries, look, man, when the people call, if they want to do roundtable interviews and one-on-one interviews with Peter and Guillermo Toro, like Peter did with Charlie for Lord of the Rings in 2002, I'll bring like 3 of my cameramen. They can film the roundtables and the one-on-one interviews. But the main interviews in front of all the fans, that we don't film. That's all kept behind the scenes. Okay. So I'm like, Peter, you nervous? Yeah, and if they do interview Peter, will be nervous. Yeah, I'm a bit nervous, man. The film critics the interviews are gonna be grilling me. Yeah, Peter, they're gonna be grilling. You gotta have good answers. You gotta prep yourself, Peter. Oh, I'll have good answers. Peter will tell me that. Yeah, he's nervous. Yeah, he's a bit nervous. Peter will be very nervous. He'll be under a lot of pressure because he knows this is like the biggest movie trilogy of all time, a $2 billion budget movie. Peter will be under a lot of pressure, man. And get him all told too. It's crazy. Peter's very excited, but he's also a bit nervous because he's like, man, like, I'm like, yeah, Peter, a lot of people want to interview you and get him all tour one-on-one. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, Peter, they're going to grill you, man. They're going to grill you, ask you all these questions. And Peter's like, I'll be prepped. Peter, you got to be prepped, man. Get him all tour, you got to be prepped, too. They're going to interview you both, man. And they're going to do a roundtable with me, VJ, and the actors, too. So tell secretaries, if we do a roundtable interview, and they interview Peter one-on-one and get him all Toro, the interviews, that we can film. I'll bring my doc team with me, they'll film it. Obviously, but the main interview in front of the thousands of fans, I'm not filming that. Which means I have to rent another plane to fly the other 3 cameramen. I have to rent like a small little plane to fly those guys with me. It'll cost me more money, but I can easily afford it. Only if they do roundtable interviews and one-on-one interviews with Peter, Guillermo Toro, and me and VJ and all that stuff, and the actors. Or they might do a thing where they interview me, VJ, and the actors and Peter, and they do a one-on-one interview where they interview Peter and Guillermo Toro. That we can film, but the main event where we're speaking with 1,000 fans, I'm not going to film that. That I'm not filming. To take the stress off your document. Your document can't film 80 interviews. That's crazy. But the one-on-one interviews with like the group of the cast and like Peter Jack, one-on-one interviews with Peter and Guillermo Toro, that you can film. So I'm sorry. Which they most likely will be doing roundtable interviews and one-on-one interviews with Peter is crazy. And the film critics might want to interview Peter. Yeah, we want to interview Peter and Guillermo Toro. We want to interview those guys. The film critics might want to interview Peter, yeah. Not the film critics, but the interviewers are going to want to interview Peter and Guillermo Toro one-on-one. Remember that interview Peter did like 20-some years ago with Charlie? He talked about Lord of the Rings. Yeah, like Peter and Guillermo Toro guarantee most likely will do one-on-one interviews like that, and me and VJ too, and the actors. I'm like, yeah, you guys have to be prepped. They're gonna grill you and ask you a lot of questions, right? Yeah, because like, yeah, we'll be ready. And Peter's a bit nervous because he's under a lot of pressure, man. He knows the whole world's gonna watch this movie. It's an Ivan movie, and he knows the world read my book. It's a masterpiece. Peter doesn't want to fuck up my movie, man. Guillermo Toro doesn't want to fuck up my movie. Hence why they're under a lot of pressure. I'm under a lot of pressure too. Yeah, it's crazy. Peter's not feeling the pressure for the money. He knows the movie will make money. It's the critical reception. That's what he's a bit nervous about. It's nice to make a lot of money, but I also want to make an amazing movie. That's why he'll be very excited, but he's under a lot of pressure, man. He's like, holy shit, Ivan, this is crazy. This is much crazier than my Lord of the Rings buzz, Ivan. I know, Peter, it's crazy. That's why he wants to bring a chunk of that of the film of the speaking period. He's greedy. It's a greedy pig period. It's a greedy pig. It's greedy. Greedy animal period. Yeah. It's greedy. Some sour. Yeah. I could pay Peter more for the world tour, but like, I'm already paying him enough, man. I don't want Peter taking any more. A bigger chunk of me just money, man. Yeah, man. Because Peter is right. He does deserve more because he's much bigger than the actors, but I'm not paying you more, Peter, man. $1 million, $1.2 million for all this is a lot of money for you. You're just greedy, man. He wants his 2.5, 3 million speaking here. He's a greedy pig. Yeah, he's greedy. Even though I'm having a blast, like speaking and everything, man, I want a bigger chunk of this. Like, I deserve a nice like $2, $3 million this side. I'm like, Peter, I'm not paying more, man. Stop being greedy. So I'm sorry. Yeah. That's my kind of well of water. So you think they're going to interview the actors one-on-one? Yeah, they most likely will. And if they do interview the actors one-on-one or like with a group of actors and like one-on-one interviews with Peter and Guillermo del Toro, that stuff I can film. But those interviews are not that long. Well, the interview with Peter and Guillermo del Toro one-on-one, that might be a 1 hour interview. Whereas the actors, it might be maybe a 20-minute interview or something, like 30-minute interview. Whereas the main event thing, I'm not filming. That stuff is all behind the scenes. I'm not going to film that. I'm sorry. It's a crazy world tour, yeah, all over the world, man. It's crazy. That's why the actors will be a bit worn out. But because they're getting paid for it, they won't complain. Yeah, even though it's a lot of work, I mean, this is fun. I love the world tour. And you're getting paid for it. You're getting paid a lot of money for it. I don't know, you're million two in speaking, man. A lot of money. That's all behind the scenes. All behind the scenes, yeah. So Hollywood won't be talking about your movie? No, I didn't sell the gates. But all the Hollywood actors are going, even the Hollywood actors are going crazy about my movie, man. They're all like, holy shit. They're all excited for my movie. All the executives, even the Hollywood executives, even though they're a bit pissed off because their movies are high attention, they're fans too, yeah. You know I'm a bit pissed off that, like, our movies are high attention. Fuck, I'm fucking excited to see Ivan's movie and this documentary. Yeah, the executives are fans too. The executives are going to buy my merch too. Yeah, man, they're fans too. All executives. Because I'm a son of God. Me, the Spirit of God. We're special. Samsara. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why they're going to beg, man. They had a blast. The company blows out the water, yeah. They get paid way more money, better perks, yeah. In Hollywood, when the actors go touring, sometimes they fly. I remember I saw the Black Panther tour when Chadwick Boseman, Ryan Coogler, and like Lupita Nyong'o, Michael B. Jordan, they went touring for Black Panther. I remember I saw them in an airport, which means they flew commercial. Never fly your stars commercial if you go world touring. You're going to wear them out, man. You don't want to do a thing when the actors have to wait an hour, 2 hours in the airport and they fly commercial. No, man. You fly them VIP privately, man. But yeah, guys, you guys are not flowing commercial. You're flowing on my private jet. So you guys get the VIP. You don't have to wait hours line in the airport. You fly on me and V's private jet. And you get the people will still check our bags and our passport. We get the VIP. We don't have to wait hours line in the airport because I'm flying privately around the world, which is a nice perk. It's nice to fly privately on a private jet, right? You don't have to fly commercial and wait hours in line in the airport and fly with all these other people. I'm flying privately for my company right now. Sincere? Yeah. Ivan, what will the world tour be like when it is repeated? Well, I'll show you like a good, like, I don't know, 20-second clip of the kind of buzz you're looking at for my movie. You see Peter Jackson speak. It's about Lord of the Rings. I'll show you guys the clip. Give me a sec, guys. I'm gonna go get my phone. back. I'll show you the kind of buzz Xanus will have. It's about Lord of the Rings. I'll show the beginning of the video. It's a quick, like, 30-second clip. Well, it's an 11-minute video. I'm not going to show you the whole 11 minutes. I'll show you the first, like, beginning of the video. Yeah. It's crazy. They interview Peter. So it's behind the scenes. It's not a public eye, guys. Don't forget that, right? Yeah, this is it. The buzz is crazy. I interview Peter. Something like this.
Is this the movie you set out to make?
People don't realize really how close this film came to not happening.
Lord of the Rings is without a doubt the greatest trilogy in movie history. What's amazing about it is that you have made 3 films in one.
They've taken a gamble that I think will probably go down in history as one of the all-time Hollywood gambles.
The Lord of the Rings makes in my history.
See what I'm saying? Alright, that's crazy. Yeah, I think of something even crazier than that for my movie. Except it's not in the public eye, right? So even though Peter Jackson and all of them will get interviewed and everything, they're interviewed behind the scenes. They're not getting interviewed in the public eye. I didn't sell to the gates. So if I do those one-on-one interviews and like group interviews, then I'll have the doc team film it. That way you guys see the interviews. But the main interview with the fans, I'm not filming that. I'm guaranteed I most likely will be doing group interviews on one. They're gonna want to interview Peter one-on-one and get him on tour for like an hour maybe. Me, VJ, get him on tour, and Peter, they might want to interview us. Now, if you want to interview Peter personally about the movie, okay, I'm gonna have my doc team film it. Okay, Ivan, they can film it. The doc team films it. I'll bring like 3 of my cameramen with me. They can film it. Yeah. So Sarah, remember how you see? He's like, this is the best movie trilogy ever made, and you see the critics and everything. Yeah, it's crazy, crazy for Xanus, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, yeah. So sorry. That's like Peter will have a smile on his face. He's happy. He's all excited, but he's also very nervous too. He doesn't want to fuck up my movie. Yeah. But because he took his nose and Guillermo del Toro took his nose, they worked hard on the movie. The movie ends up being a masterpiece, man. Xanus. Yeah, please, Ivan, your company blows out wide. This is much crazier than Hollywood, Ivan. I know, Peter. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't really have to worry about the online hate online, but the behind the scenes, Peter, people will be talking, man. The interviews are going to grill you and get them all Toro when they interview guys. They're going to grill Peter and get them all Toro. Yeah, it's crazy. That's why you got to be prepped, Peter. And Peter's, I'll be prepped. Hey, you got to give good answers. They're going to ask you all these questions, Peter. Yeah, Ivan, get them all Toro. They're going to ask you a lot of questions. Yeah, Ivan, I know. I got interviewed in Hollywood. I know how this works. Yeah, you have to be prepped. Because the press can be very harsh when it comes to movies and all that stuff. And they can be harsh, man. They grill you with all these questions. Yeah. Yeah. Samsara? You guys saw that clip? Yeah, it's crazy like that, man. They interview Peter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's crazy. That's like people beg, man. Oh, how you ready next week, man? I had a blast being featured on you, being part of your movie, man. I'm like, no, Peter, you're not good for the next movie. You're gonna go back to home with that man. I don't want to go back to home, and I want to work for you. I'm like, Peter, just retire. You're getting a little old. I recommend you retire and spend on your family. Don't even go back to Hollywood. But chances are Hollywood will be throwing Peter a lot, like big offers, like $100 million offers, and it's tough for Peter to pass it up. Peter, even if Hollywood throws a lot of offers, I recommend you don't accept the offers. You're getting old. There's nothing worse than working in your 80s, Peter. And you're making a lot of money, but you don't really have time to spend your money and spend time with your family. You work until you're 90, and before you know it, you're 96, you pass away. You made all that money, but you never had time to enjoy your life. That's why I recommend Peter you retire. And he might retire from Xanus, Peter. He might. Obviously, because he'll be like in his mid-70s when he directs Xanus. I don't know, 75, 76, 74. Peter, yeah. Some Sarah? Yeah. Will Fran come with you? No. Fran will not be coming with me. No. It'll be Peter, Guillermo Toro, my 2 presidents, my head of production, and like 11 of the stars are coming with me. And the rest don't come. Yeah. Only the main like 11 stars are coming with me. And then Peter Jackson, Guillermo Toro are coming with me. My 2 presidents and my head of production are coming with me. And the rest of my 7 team are going to want, Ivor, we're going to call them like, no, you guys can't come. I can't fail you guys in the jet, man. Ivor, you can rent other plane on my guys. You're not all coming with me. You're going to drain on my money, man. I'm not going to bring like 40 people, man. You crazy? Yeah, only the head of production, I need him there with me because he's handling the schedule. Now, Ivor, your next meeting is at this place. He's handling that. And the 2 presidents are handling the business side of things. I'm going to give them me and VJ's card, and they have to pay for everything. Okay, here's my business card. I have a good, like, I don't know, $15 million left over in the budget. Here's my business card. You guys are responsible for maintaining the gas for the jet and booking all the rooms for us in the hotel, paying for the buffet feeding and the transportation services. You guys are responsible for all that. Or you can just have you and VJ pay for it, but it's up to you. VJ, do you want to have us pay for it, or do you want to have the president's handle? I mean, this is how the president's handle. Yeah, the president's gonna handle it. That way, it takes the stress off me and VJ, right? Yeah. Every time we land in the city, you gotta look on your phone, search for luxury, top-notch, the best luxury hotels in that city, and you have to be responsible for. You have to book all the rooms for all of us. Yeah. Try to book a hotel room that has like 3 bedrooms, so that way it cuts the cost down. Don't rent a hotel that just has 1 bedroom. No, have a hotel that has like 3 bedrooms. That way, like 3 of the actors can stay in there. Obviously, try to rent a hotel that has an average 3 bedrooms. That way, the actors could sleep in their own room. You book a hotel room for me and VJ alone. You book a room for Peter. Peter will be staying with Guillermo Toro, and maybe 2 of my presidents. And the head of production will be staying with the actors. Yeah. They'll only have to book maybe, there'll be 16 of us. They only have to book maybe like 5 hotel rooms. Because the actors are going to be sharing rooms, right? They stay in one hotel room and they have their own bedrooms and everything. So you only have to book maybe 5 hotel rooms. So if it's $3,000 a night, it's costing me like 15 grand for that one night. How long are you staying in the city for, Ivan? Maybe 2 days? We'll be staying in every city probably on average 1 to 2 days. Probably maybe one night, man. 1 to 2 days, maybe 2 days max. We'll be staying in the country, the city and the country, obviously. Around there, right? Yeah. Yeah. That's my current ball apartment, yeah, but no, all the hard accents like shit, man. They're all left behind. Fuck, man. Looks like those hackers are having a blast. Yeah, they're having a blast. And those hackers and all are all left behind. They go to the circuit. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. So you don't want Peter making drastic changes? No. Like, we'll make some changes to some scenes and add stuff to make it better. But I don't want Peter doing drastic changes. We gotta follow the DNA of the story, Peter. We can add stuff to make it more interesting and change some things, but don't do drastic changes where you're changing the DNA of the story. Like, Peter might be like, Ivan, we should have the woman fight and all stuff. I'm like, no, Peter. In Zane law tradition, women are not allowed to bear arms. And so I don't want to do a thing where you're making a lot of change. We can change them, like Peter. I don't want you changing a lot of things in my book. I don't want you making drastic changes. If you have the woman fight, you contradict the Zane law, and that's a drastic change in the story. Yeah. Because Peter didn't make minor changes in Lord of the Rings. He made drastic changes in Lord of the Rings. Drastic changes. Like, when you read the book, Aragorn is not reluctant to be king when you read the book, but in the movie, Aragorn is reluctant to be king. Faramir is not tempted, overcomes the ring in the book. In the movie, he's tempted by the ring. Peter made drastic changes in Lord of the Rings, man. Yeah. That's a drastic change. When you read the story, right? The book. Yeah. In the book, Glorfindel takes Frodo through the ford when the ring wraiths are chasing them. Whereas in the movie, Arwen takes Frodo. Yeah. Peter also does a thing in Lord of the Rings where he has some of the actors say lines of another actor. Yeah. Peter, I don't want you doing that for Xanus, man. Whereby you're taking lines that another character says in the book and you give it to another character. Don't do that, Peter. I don't want you making drastic changes like Lord of the Rings. Yeah, for Lord of the Rings, I had no choice. I had to make all these changes, man. Lord of the Rings is a hassle to adapt. Yeah, I know. I understand, Peter, why you made some changes, obviously, because Lord of the Rings is very difficult to adapt. Yeah, if you follow Lord of the Rings page to page, the movie will be a mess, man. Like, Jared Tolkien has so many things going on every page. Yes, I know. Whereas your book is much easier to follow. I know. My book is much easier to follow. We follow the DNA of the story. We make some changes and all, obviously, but we have to follow the DNA of the story, Peter. I don't want you making drastic changes like you did for Lord of the Rings. Because you made a lot of changes in Lord of the Rings. Samsara? Yeah. Like in the end of Return of the King, Frodo, Frodo destroys the ring, I believe, in the end of Return of the King. Whereas in the movie, Frodo did not destroy the ring. He said the ring is mine. And he fought with Gollum, and then Gollum ends up falling in the fire. That's not really a drastic change. I understand why Peter made that choice, because it's nobody can resist the power of the ring. Hence why Peter is like, yeah, I don't like the idea of Frodo throwing the ring in the fire. He's tempted by the ring. I want him. He can't resist the power of the ring. He's like, the ring is mine, and then he puts on the ring, and then Gollum ends up biting his hand off. He gets the ring, and then Frodo fights Gollum for the ring. Then Gollum ends up being thrown in the fire. That's a minor change. But yeah. So you will make changes? Of course I will. I'm going to make some changes in the book. I'm going to take out some scenes. Peter might tell me, we shouldn't add this scene in the movie. Cut it out. But chances are, Peter will tell me, no, Ivan, all your scenes are good for the movie. We shouldn't. Well, I'll barely be cutting out any scenes. I'm probably going to be adding most of the scenes in the book. Some of the scenes I might omit, but we're gonna add stuff. I'm gonna add a lot of things with Eretat to make it more interesting. Yeah, Peter, I think we should add more things with Eretat. Eretat is not as developed as well as Takis in them. Yeah, Ivan, we should add some things with the wolves to make it more interesting. Yeah, and I might add some stuff with the bats too. Yeah, like minor changes are fine. Like Eretat has an axe in the book. In the movie, he has a long sword. Samsara, and I'll add more scenes with Eretat in the movie to make it more interesting. Samsara. Hence why I want to co-write with Peter, because I'm scared if I if I just give the reins to Peter and he writes it himself with Fran, I'm scared they're gonna make a lot of changes in me. They're gonna change a lot of stuff in my book, man. It's gonna really, really piss me off if they make drastic changes. And that's why I want to be a part of the writing process. That way I have some say. We have the same vision. I don't want Peter doing drastic changes in my story. You know, because Peter might want the woman to fight and everything. He's changing my things. Like, Peter, what the fuck are you doing, man? In the book, in Zane Lost Tradition, woman and all to fight. Why are you having the woman fight, man? Like, you're changing a lot of things in the story. I don't want you doing that. Like, you did for Lord of the Rings, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Like, Peter might want to do a thing like Helm's Deep. Why don't we do a thing where, like, the orcs breach the wall? I'm like, nah, man, Peter, when you read the book, the wall cannot be breached. It was supernaturally made. So I'm going to say, I don't want to do a thing like your Helm's Deep where they're fighting on the wall and the ladders appear. No. Tax is to meet Eretat outside the wall. Yeah. The wall it cannot be breached when you read the book. The Zane wall cannot be breached. It was built to protect the Zanes from the wolves, yeah. But if Peter makes that change, he contradicts the story. Because in the story, I say the wall cannot be breached. I'm scared Peter might want to do a thing like Helm's Deep where the orcs have the ladders. I'm like, Peter, don't do that. You're going to contradict the story. We can change it. I'm like, Peter, I don't mind making changes, but I don't want you doing drastic changes whereby you're contradicting the plot of the story, Peter. Like you did for Lord of the Rings in some sections, right? Yeah. I'm sorry? We can add things. Like, for example, in the book, I don't explain how Eli makes his money. In the movie, we can explain how Eli makes his money. The Zanians pay him a lot of money to forge to make weapons for them. We can add that in the movie to make it more interesting, obviously. That's fine. How Eli makes his money. We can add stuff to make it interesting, but don't change the DNA of the story, Peter. I'm sorry? Yeah. Yeah. Please, Ivan, this is fun. I'm having a blast working on your script, Ivan. I know, Peter. No, Ivan, seriously, man, this is fun. The doc's filming us. I know, Peter. He's excited and happy. Yeah, this is fun, Ivan. Get him all towards Ivan. This is fun. I'm having much more fun working on your movie than I do working in Hollywood, Ivan. I know. They're all excited to get him all towards Peter for my movie, man. And they work really hard because they pay him a lot of money. Yeah, Guillermo Toro signed a massive deal too. You sound like it's a $27 million deal. $5 million for his base. I can pay him $6. That way he's happier. Guillermo Toro. Pay him $6. I can pay you a $2 million sign bonus, Guillermo Toro, for a pre-production. That's a good deal for you, and you make your $4. No, I can pay you your $1 million. You make your $5. For production, that way you get a good paycheck. You get like your $1 million too for the merch, and a rich $18 million of the film profits. Well, you keep Guillermo happy. He works hard for you, and he gets his $1 million in speaking. Guillermo Toro. That's a good deal for Guillermo Toro. I don't even make this on how I make like my 8, my 7 for a movie. I know Guillermo Toro. I'm paying you more as an assistant director than what you make as a director. Normally, Guillermo Toro. It's a good deal for you. Yeah, that's a good deal for me. Sign me, Guillermo Toro. It's a deal, Ivan. Yeah. 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 Will you be shocked how creative? Yeah, I'm like, Peter gives his input. Ivan, what if we do this? Fran gives her input, get him all Toro. I'm like, holy shit, these guys are creative. Yeah, Ivan, like, Peter's like, Ivan, I roll over the rings, though. I know my shit, Ivan. And Peter gives a lot of input. I also give a lot of creative input too. Peter's like, Ivan, you're a genius, man. Like, you have all these good ideas. I know, Peter. Like, I have an idea where the Eagles tell stories to... Peter, what do you think of my idea of the Eagles telling Takis and them and young Takis when they're kids stories? That's cool. We can add in the movie, yeah, because the Eagles are very minor character. They have like a few speaking roles. We can develop the Eagles a bit more where they tell stories. They tell stories to Takis and Suetonius when they're kids. Yeah, that's cool. They tell them stories. Yeah, that's a good idea. We can have them tell stories. Yeah, they tell stories to Takis and Suetonius when they're kids, training in Zane Arts. That's cool. Add that to make it more interesting, obviously. Yeah. Add more scenes with the Krolls, too. Eratat spies. Yeah. For example, the landmarking of Cyrus in Volume 1 is only 3 wolves. In the movie, you can have them be maybe 30 wolves. 40 wolves that mark it. You add it to make it more interesting. Yeah, Ivan, 3 wolves is a bit unrealistic. Marking a whole land of like 1,000 people. Let's have like 40 wolves, yeah. Eratat sends 40 wolves to mark the land of Cyrus. You can add that to make it interesting. So you have the original 3 characters, and you have an extra 40 wolves that mark it. Obviously. That's all I'm going to say. I won't spoil the story for you. The land of Cyrus. To make it more interesting. Samsara? Yeah. I'll add stuff to the prologue, because the prologue is not as detailed. I want to we should add some more stuff to the prologue to make it interesting. Yeah, we add a bit more stuff to the prologue, and we make a few changes to make it more interesting. That's fine, but like follow the delineated story period. Don't be doing all these drastic changes whereby you're contradicting the plot of the story. You have the woman fight when in Zane Law the woman can't fight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't want you making those major changes, Peter, to the story. So, Sarah? But he was like, okay, I was just saying, yeah, Peter, you gotta listen to me. I'm the boss over you. I don't want you doing drastic changes in my book, man. I wrote a master. I don't want you making all these drastic changes, Peter. So, Sarah? And get them all Toro. And Fran and too, you have to tell them that. Yeah. Yeah, Peter, what do you think of the idea when Suetonius and Cassius are captured in Volume 2? They get thrown in a pit, and Bull the Pit Watcher he takes the rope, and Suetonius and Cassius they go down into the pit with the rope, obviously, and Bull the Pit Watcher leaves the rope very very high up in the pit where they can't reach it, but somehow they escape. That's a bit too cliche. What if you do a thing where Bull the Pit Watcher, he doesn't leave the rope in the pit. The rope is nowhere to be seen, but somehow a wind blows the rope into the pit, and it's the ancestors watching them because the fate of Takis is at stake. So I'm going to say they're watching over them and they blow the rope into the pit. You won't know in the movie who blew the rope into the pit, but this peaceful wind blows the rope into the pit. Ivan, that's genius! The ancestors are watching over them, the fate of Taki. So I'm like, yeah, Peter. He's like, holy shit, Ivan, you're a genius. Ivan, that's a good idea. We should do that, Ivan. But he's like, Ivan, you're creative. I know, Peter. He's like, holy shit, Ivan, you're a genius. Yeah, I know, Peter. I know my shit. Yeah. Ivan, seriously, you're very creative. Holy shit, man. You should be a director, Ivan. I'm like, nah, Peter. I'm not comfortable directing a movie, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And Peter's all shocked. Holy shit, Ivan, you have all these good ideas for your story, yeah? And you want to do a thing when Suetonius and Cassius are captured, the wolves stare at them, and they laugh at them. Yeah, they laugh when Eratat mocks them. They're laughing. There's a scene in the book Aratet steps up from his throne. He's like, "Hello, humans." He's mocking them. When he says that, I want to have all the wolves in Brack laughing at them. All right, that's genius. They all laugh. They're mocking them. Yeah, because the wolves don't like the humans, and they're devils. They're devils too. Imagine they're all devils and they're mocking them and everything. Look at a sick movie. Yeah, man. Look at a sick movie. Yeah, man. Susanna? Yeah. And we should add more scenes for Andy Serkis. Job has a lot of scenes in the movie, in the book, obviously. But I want to have more scenes for Andy Serkis. You know, we'll add more scenes for Job. And we add more scenes for Job, obviously. Andy Serkis, obviously. Give him more scenes. He already has enough scenes in the book, obviously, but I want to give Andy Serkis a bit more scenes in the movie. That way, you know what I'm saying? As Job the pothead, yeah. Eli's hired caretaker. Yeah. Andy Serkis destroys the role of Job. You see, he's always high. He's a pothead. He's like, he has that laugh. When he's high, he's like, he has that laugh. Yeah, I want you to do kind of that Gollum laugh, Andy Serkis. When you laugh, you're high. You're like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't worry about it. He destroys the role of Job, man. Yeah. He's a pothead. You see, Andy Serkis, every now and then he has this pipe. He's smoking his weed. He's always high. Even when he fights in the movie, he's high. Because Job was a pothead. He loves smoking weed, man. He's a pothead. Yeah. Why is he part of Ivan? Well, I don't want to spoil a story for you. There's backstory about Job's life. I give a little bit of backstory about Job and his parents in the book. There's a reason why he's a pothead. I don't want to spoil a story for you. That's why you can also make prequels, obviously. I'm not making any prequels. Because you get backstory with Papyri, you get backstory with Job, obviously. That's why you can easily do prequels with Job. You can easily do a prequel with the life of Job, Eli, Cornelius, and all of them in the book when you read it. You can easily do a prequel with the story of Papyri and Sirius. You can also do a prequel with Aratat's father. You can easily do a prequel about Tachys the First. Tachys the First has very little backstory, but you can easily do a prequel with Tachys the First and the ancestors too when you read the book. Yeah. Peter, Ivan, are you going to do prequels in the future? I'm like, nah, Peter. I don't want to touch the story. Ivan, I think you shouldn't touch it. Just leave it the way it is. Have the audience guess what happened in the past. I think Xanus is a story you shouldn't touch. Yeah, Peter, I don't want to do prequels. Because prequels tend to be worse than the originals. Most of the time when studios do prequels, the prequels end up not being good, man. Yeah. So I'm saying, like The Hobbit is not Lord of the Rings, right? The two Hobbit movies they're pretty good. Destination Smog and Unexpected Journey are pretty good movies, but like they're not Lord of the Rings. And the third movie was terrible, man. It was not that good. It was not bad. It wasn't that good, man. The Star Wars prequels have their problems, obviously. A lot of fans did not like the Star Wars prequels. I'm not a prequel hater. I think the prequels are pretty good. We're good. I think Revenge of the Sith was a masterpiece. That's an amazing movie. Phantom Menace was pretty good. I enjoyed that. Whereas Attack of the Clones was a crapshoot. It wasn't that good of a movie. That's where I think George Lucas missed the mark. Attack of the Clones is not that good of a movie. It's the worst movie in the trilogy. Phantom Menace is pretty good. I like it. It's not a masterpiece, but it's pretty good. But Revenge of the Sith I love. I see that movie's a masterpiece. That's an amazing movie. And why do you think the prequels were not good? Because George Lucas was a one-man show. He did everything himself for the prequels. He had no one to critique him, no one to challenge him, no one to help him out. George Lucas wrote everything himself with no help. Whereas for the originals, George Lucas, he co-wrote the movie. He co-wrote all the movies, and he had other directors direct the movie. He had a lot of help, a lot of input. Whereas for the prequels, he was a one-man show. He did everything himself. Hence why the prequels have its problems, obviously. I like the prequels, obviously, but they're not the originals. The prequels had its problems, obviously, and the dialogue, a lot of very corny dialogue. Because George Lucas wrote all 3 movies himself with no help. Nobody helped him out. And he directed it all himself. In my opinion, George Lucas should have had other writers help him write the script. And he should have maybe directed Phantom Menace and maybe have another guy step in and direct the second movie and the third movie. That way he had more help. Obviously. But Revenge of the Sith was a good movie. I love Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith was my second best movie experience. I love that movie on theater. That's such a good movie. Yeah. I'm not a prequel hater. I think the prequels are pretty good. But they're not as good as the originals, right? The originals are better, obviously. But I like Revenge of the Sith more than Return of the Jedi, obviously. Some Sarah. But Phantom Menace is not as good as A New Hope, and Attack of the Clones is not even close to being as good as Empire, right? Hence why George was a one-man show. He had no one to really challenge him or like critique his work. He did everything himself. Hence why the prequels had its problems, obviously, for some fans. I think the prequels are pretty good, but the prequels obviously had its problems, and what? The dialogue was a little corny in some seconds. A lot of corny dialogue. We're smarter than this. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit corny, obviously. Yeah, corny dialogue. Yeah. And it's why for Zanes, I'm not going to do the one-man show thing. Because I know if I write Zanes on my own with no help, it might have... it's risky. You're better off having Peter Jackson. You have people who have experience writing scripts in Hollywood help you out. That way you have help. And Peter can challenge me. I can challenge Peter. We have our input and we write a good script together. I have help. Remember before I said I wanted to direct Xanus? I decided to not do that because I have no experience directing Xanus. I don't want to be stressed out directing the movie and also acting. And everyone's coming up to me asking questions and I'm lost because I don't have that experience. Whereas Peter has that experience. Yeah, I don't know, but I have the experience. I know the process of making a movie. Guillermo del Toro has the experience of directing movies. They're going to help me out. But I'll be helping Peter out, giving him ideas for the story, obviously. Showing him Prince of Egypt, all that stuff for the movies, I'm sorry. Yeah. The Zane's movie. Yeah. But writing the script would be fun, man. Because I'm having a blast working on your script. Yeah, Peter. We only have to work on it for maybe 3 hours a day. You don't want to do a thing when you work on the script all day. You're going to stress Peter out. Peter's Ivan, you don't want to work on it all day. No, Peter. I don't want to put stress on me and you. Let's only work on it for 3 hours every day in the morning. In 3 hours, we can write 4 or 5 pages a day. That's good, obviously. And then we take our break, we eat our lunch, and then in the afternoon, we got to do the concept arts. We got to focus on concept arts, building the world, what the demonic characters look like, the world building. I showed you my idea for the world in my last video yesterday, right? Yeah. And yeah, that's the appears like concept arts are very important. I mean, yeah, we got to build the world. With John Han Ali, Guillermo del Toro, me, VJ, Peter, Fran, Barry Osborne. You know what I'm saying? We also got to make the business calls for the main things, Peter. We only have to do business calls once a week, Peter. Okay, Ivan. We handle just the main things. Yeah. That's also very important, right? Yeah. And Peter has to help me keep track of the budget. I'll have Fran help me with the budget too. And Peter has to help me with payroll. Yeah, Peter, you're gonna help me sign all the stars. Okay, I'll help you with that. Yeah, Peter, you're my executive producer. You have to help me sign the stars. Yeah. And then once I saw all the stars, Peter's like, "Holy shit, man! Your company blows hell of water." I know, Peter. And why? Seriously, all your actors signed mega deals, man. This is crazy, Ivan. This is way more than what my lawyer's actors made. I know, Peter. Your company blows hell of water. I know, Peter. Yeah, Ivan, they're gonna work their ass off for me because you're paying a lot of money. Yes, Peter. Because I paid the stars a lot of money, they're gonna work their ass off for you, man. Oscar performances. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. Oscar performances. Who's making the most for Xanus? Well, if you're basing it off the initial contract, but you also have the rates obviously. But if you take away the rates, the biggest contract is Russell Crowe signed the biggest contract if he's chosen, or Ariana Grande signed the biggest contract. But with the rates, she didn't sign the biggest contract. The biggest contract is Russell Crowe, and second after him with the rates is, I think, Carl Urban. Carl Urban lives in New Zealand. Because even though Ariana Grande signed like a $30 million deal, she lives in America. So that's like a $21 million deal in her American money. Whereas Carl Urban lives in New Zealand, so he's making even more. So, but if you just count it on the initial contract, regardless of the rates, the biggest contract is Russell Crowe, or Ariana Grande has the biggest contract if Russell Crowe's not chosen. And second biggest after that would be Don Cheadle would be second, obviously, or Vigo. But Don Cheadle, if he's chosen, he has the second biggest contract. And third is, I think, Idris Elba. And fourth would be, like, I don't know, Jimo Hansu or something. I don't even know. But it's around that, right? Yeah. Obviously. But Carl Urban signed him out. He signed like his $21 million deal, which is a $25 million deal in his New Zealand money. So Carl Urban's walking away like $14 million in his bank out of taxes, man. It's not a massive contract. Yeah, $25 million after taxes is what? Like $15 million? Yeah, like $15 million bucks are on there. So Carl Urban's walking away like $14 million in his bank. He's not a massive contract. He's like, holy shit, this is a mega deal. I make like $3 million for the boys, Ivan. And for the other things I made, I made like $100K. Ivan, your company blows out of water. Yeah, I'm gonna work much harder than I did for fucking Uline like 30 something years ago, Ivan. I made nothing for Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Lord of the Rings launched my career, but I made nothing for Lord of the Rings, Ivan. I know, Carl Urban. I'm gonna work hard for you, man. He destroys the role of Cornelius, the captain of the blacksmiths. Unheard of performance. Yeah. You're gonna see all the Hollywood actors are working hard, man. Like Peter, the work is so easy for getting on Peter. Peter's Ivan, like the work is much easier for me. I don't have to force the actors to get better acting out of them. They're all working so hard for me. Yes, Peter, because we paid them a lot of money. We pay a lot of money. Yes, Peter, because we pay a lot of money, they're working hard for you, Peter. I'm spoiling them with all you can buffet. Because the Hollywood actors are working hard for me. For the movie. Like, you thought John Boyega's performance in Stars was good. Think of something 2-3 times better than that. Because I paid him, when he signed his $20 million deal, I paid him more money than what he made for Star Wars. John Boyega, I heard, made like $300-400K for Force Awakens. And he got a piece of the film profits, maybe like $1.5 million of the film profits. For the second movie, he probably made his $1 million, maybe $1.5 million. The third movie, John Boyega maybe made his $2 million for Star Wars 9. Yeah. Rise of Skywalker. John Hammond told me, I'm gonna work much harder for you than I did for fucking stars. Are you kidding me? You paid me more money, and you gave me better perks. I didn't fuck her. I'm gonna work much harder for you than I did for Star Wars. Star Wars was a mess, man. They didn't. Disney didn't know what they were doing, man. They pushed my characters aside. You know, so yeah, they did. Yeah, they did John Boyega dirty, man. Disney, man. Hence why Force Awakens is my favorite of the three. Because Force Awakens, they actually built the character of Finn and Rey. And then for Last Jedi, they pushed John Boyega to the side. John Boyega went on this worthless side quest with Rose, finding the what's his name again? Yeah, he went on this worthless side quest with Rose. Yeah, obviously. So Force Awakens is your favorite of the three? Yeah, Force Awakens is my favorite of the three movies. And the worst for me is probably Rise of Skywalker. Last Jedi has its problems, but at least Last Jedi, they have it's a bit of a better story. Rise of Skywalker was a mess, man. Rise of Skywalker is by far the worst of the three movies. Or you can argue Last Jedi is the worst, but Rise of Skywalker is the worst. There's a reason why it made the least money, man. Yeah. Obviously. I'm like, yeah, John. You don't have to worry about me pushing you aside. I'm gonna give you. I'm like, Peter, make sure you give John Boyega a lot of scenes. Well, John Boyega has a lot of scenes when you read the book, but make sure you give John Boyega like John Boyega. Tastonius fights Bull the Pit Watcher in the End War. That's why John Boyega. Yeah, John. You don't have to worry about me pushing you to the side. You're gonna be the star of my movie, John Boyega. You, Jimo Hansu, and Yvonne Joji are like the three like stars in the movie. The supporting stars in the movie, man. Don't worry about John. I'm gonna make sure I let you do your thing. You know what I'm saying? This is dumb money. He signs that contract. John Boyega, he signs that contract. Yeah. Can I get that's like $12 million out? I'm like, John, I'm not paying you 12. You get $9 million for the movie. Stop being greedy. I'm giving you $8 million for the home problems. What about $20 million for John Boyega for the home problems? My guys, man, you're getting greedy. John Boyega's not worth $20 million. He gets $8. That's a good deal. It's a deal. I don't even make his how. Yes, John, you get your $8 million for the film profits, and you get your $9 million for your base, and you get your $250K for the Scottish Entertainment News promos. That's a good deal for you, John. And you get your $1.8 million for the game. And you get your potential earnings in speaking, which you're gonna make your $1 million in speaking and all for all that. You sign your $20 million deal, $20+ million deal. It's a massive contract. This is dope, man. I would make this how for Stars. I made like $300K for my first movie. I made like $1.5 million for Stars. I know. Your company blows out of the water. I know, John. It blows out of the water. Holy shit, your company blows out of the water. I feel like this is how much like A-listers make. And you're paying me a $20 million deal? Yeah, I'm not even worth that, Ivan. I know, John. John's not worth a $20 million deal. Because my company's better than I'm going to pay more the way it works hard for me. Because the truth is, John Boyega's worth maybe $2-3 million for my movie. But I want to pay him his $9 million. That way he works harder for me. And that way my company's better than Hollywood. And he's not pissed off. I mean, you got to make sure you pay these guys a lot of money. That way they work hard for you. And you get an amazing movie. So I know I'm doing. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna go outside and get a coffee myself. I'm back in a sec. Here we go. Wait. Go ahead, James. We gotta join this show. Alright guys, I'm back. Well, I was just to get my coffee, and I'm also eating my breakfast. I'm eating like an egg omelet. Oh, sorry about that. My phone fell down. Eating an egg omelet. Yeah, I'm gonna tell all the main stars, yeah, you guys are gonna be the stars of my movie. This is gonna change your life, man. Once you're in my movie, you're never gonna be the same again. You're gonna be world famous. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, John, man, you're gonna be the star of my movie, man. You're not the lead, but you're gonna be the star. Yvonne Georgia, you're gonna be the star. G1 too, you're gonna be the star of my movie, yeah. Yeah. Like, holy shit. Yeah, you're never gonna be the same after you do my movie, man. It's gonna change your life, man. I told you, you guys can bail you want after Xanus. I'm not gonna be signed. You're gonna go back to Hollywood. That's my hero deserve. Yeah. They're gonna beg them, man. They had a blast, man. The world tour, all the parties being featured on the Sky Source, entertainment news, getting paid more money than what they make in Hollywood, being part of that $1.8 million budget movie. Yeah. I might make Xanus for 2, maybe, just a bit more money, but I'm gonna tell Peter, do you want to split the do you want to have an official budget for each of the 3 volumes, or do you want to do a thing where we just it's just through the one, it's just paid through the $2 billion? All right, we should have a budget for each movie. Okay, I can make Xanus for $2 billion instead of $1.8 billion. That's a $666 million budget per volume. That's a lot of money for Peter, right? Enough money. That's more than enough money. Almost a $700 million budget for each movie. Yeah. I'll just make Xanus for $2 billion, right? I might as well make it for $2 billion. That way I can put a bit more money into visual effects. Maybe $1 billion. I can put $1.2 billion into visual effects. We put like $370 million, whatever it is, towards visual effects, whatever it is, for Peter. That way he has a bigger budget. Yeah. But I'm not going any higher than $2 billion. Either, Ivan, don't go any higher than $2 billion. You don't want to blow our money. I know, $2 billion's enough. That way you give Peter a bigger budget, obviously. Some cider. People tell me, no, Ivan, you should have a budget for each of the volumes. You don't want to do a thing where you just, Peter, do you want to have like a separate budget for each volume, or you just want to just pay as you go, right, through the $2 billion? I don't know why. We should have a budget for each volume. Okay, I'll make Xanus for $2 billion, Peter. That's like $666 billion towards each volume. So $666 million is going towards each of the volumes for Xanus. $2 billion divided by 3 is 666, right? My math is right. 2 billion divided by 3. That's my counting blows out of the water by 3. Yeah, 666 billion going towards each volume. He was like, holy shit, man. I mean, Hollywood, the highest they ever go is like 350. I know, man. I counting blows out of the water. I'm putting almost $700 million towards each of the volumes, man, for Xanus. That's for one movie alone. My entire Hobbit budget movie is one budget for one volume, Ivan. Yeah, The Hobbit was made for about $700 million. I'm making one volume for $666 million. He's like, holy shit, you're cutting with all the water. This is on the budget, I know, Peter. No. Yeah. So you have to split. If chances are, Piers or Ivan, no, we have to have a budget for each movie. That's how it works, Ivan. Okay, I'm giving you a $2 billion budget, Peter, towards 3 of the volumes. We divide it by 3, 666. I want an equal amount going towards each movie, Peter. We have a consistency. So 666 is going towards each of the volumes. He's like, holy shit, $666 million, almost $700 million. He's like, holy shit, you're was hella water. This is unlimited budget, I know, Peter. So if I put 410 towards salaries, you have to split it equally for the 3 volumes to pay the actors and the crewmen, obviously. So 410 million divided by 3. That's how it works, obviously. Divide by 3. So all the money going towards set-building and everything, you have to divide it equally. 410 divided by 3 is million divided by 3 is what? 136 million. So 136 million. I have a 136 million budget going towards each of the volumes. And that's how the crewmen get paid, the actors get paid. Towards but technically speaking, it's like a 2.1 million budget because I have to pay Peter his 85 million bucks, and that also my presence, their bonuses. So it's like a 2.1 million budget. So it's a huge budget, man. Yeah. Well, we're not going any higher than 2 billion. 2 billion is the highest I'm ever going to go. Because I'm making it for 1.8, I might as well put a bit more money towards it. 2 billion. And I can put more money towards visual effects. 1.2 billion towards visual effects. He's like, holy shit, I know. So if I put 1.2 billion towards visual effects, 1.2 billion divided by 3, how much money is going towards visual effects for the movie? 1.2 billion divided by 3. $400 million. Producer Ivan, you're putting 400 million towards each volume towards visual effects. I'm like, yeah, bro. He's like, holy shit. Ivan, you're looking at unheard experience. I know, Peter, unheard experience. So 400 million is going towards special effects and visual effects towards each of the volumes for my movie. That's what we're looking at. Beautiful World, unheard horror. Obviously, 45 million is going towards extras. Well, now I'm making for 2 million. I can put 50 million towards extras just in case. I'll put maybe 42 million towards set-building. That's enough, obviously. Because 50 million is enough for the extras. That's enough. Yeah, it's enough. Because Ivan, $400 million towards visual effects towards each of your volumes. But yeah, he's like, holy shit. You're coming out of the water. For the Lord of the Rings, you only put like $30-40 million. I know, Peter. He's like, holy shit. Ivan, you're looking at devils. You're looking at a beautiful one. Looking at an unheard war. I know, Peter. I gave Peter an unlimited $2 million budget, man. That's why Peter's all happy. So, Peter, do you want to divide? Yeah, we have to have a budget for each volume. We can't just make it pay as you go. No, Ivan, you have to have an equal budget. Okay, Peter, I want an equal budget. That way, that way it's consistent. Okay, so if we divide 2 billion divided by 3, that's 666 million going towards each of the volumes, Peter. Peter's like 70 million bucks. I'm like, yeah, Peter's like, holy, almost a 700 million budget. Peter's like, holy shit, Ivan, you're cutting bulls out of the water. I know. $2 billion towards the 3 volumes, and $400 million going towards visual effects for each, like a good 390 because you have the equipment costs, right? A good like $400 million going towards visual effects towards each of my movies. That's why I got you blow out of the water. You're looking at a beautiful world, yeah. And now you guys understand why my climbing bulls out of the water. I want everything that will be devils. Looking at walking devils and demons for my movie, yeah. And you need to give Peter an unlimited budget, that way he's not limited. You sign Peter to his mega deal and give him an unlimited budget, that way he's happy and whatever he wants to do he could afford. Because I gave Peter $400 million towards visual effects towards each of the movie, he can do whatever he wants for the war, for the extras, for the action scenes, for the barrels. I can make the best war ever possible, Ivan. This kind of money, Ivan. Yeah. This is unlimited. We can push the horror of the wolves and bats to they're gonna be devils, Ivan. I know, Peter. With that kind of technology, they're gonna be devils, Ivan. I know, Peter. He's all excited for the movie, Peter. Yeah. Going crazy, yeah. Your company blows out of the water. I know, Peter. Blows out of the water. Yeah. So I'll have a $136 million budget going towards salaries per volume. To pay the cast and crew their salary per volume. Yeah. Are the actors signing a 3-movie deal or a 1-movie deal? They're signing a 3-movie deal. They're signing a 1-movie deal, but it's divided into 3 movies. Because we're filming everything back to back, obviously. So John Boyega makes his $3 million per movie. It's divided equally over the movie. He makes his $3 million per movie. So John, you get your $3 million for volume 1, $3 million for volume 2, and $3 million for volume 3. That's a total of $9 million for the 1 year of shooting. And Peter's $65 million is divided over the 3 movies too. So 65 divided by 3. Peter's contract is divided. Well, it's not really divided because it's one story, but I mean. $65 million divided by 3. Yeah, Peter's making his $21 million. 21.6 million per movie. Massive contract, Peter. Yeah, I even more than that. I'm like, Peter, I'm not paying more, man. You get your 65 million. You don't make this for Lord of the Rings. You make your 10 million bucks, and I'm paying you 65 million. That's a lot of money for you, Peter. You're just being greedy, which is like 70 something million your New Zealand money, right? Peter's making his 70 something million in his New Zealand money for a year of work. That's a lot of money for Peter. You're just greedy. That's not funny. I'm just messing with you. I didn't make this. I made like my $20 million. I know, Peter. You made like your 20 million Hollywood. Yeah. But Peter's real money is his royalties. Even though he's making a lot of money for his base, his real money is a royalty. He gets his $200 million for the game, $200 million for the merch, and his $700 million for the movie. It's a massive contract, Peter. I mean, can I hear more of that box? And I'm like, no, Peter, you get $700. I'm not paying you more, man. Stop being greedy. I'm just messing. That's enough money for me. One performer is enough for me. Is enough money for me. I'm just messing, man. I already make this all. With this money, I never have to work again. I could retire. I know, Peter. You could retire. You're making your $700-800 million after taxes, man. That's a lot of money for you, Peter. Stop being greedy, Sarah. Yeah. $400 million towards visual effects. Towards each volume. That's crazy. Oh yeah. Here's Ivan, you're putting $1.2 billion towards visual effects. I know. Yeah, Ivan, you gotta put the bulk of your money towards visual effects. That's the heart and soul. That's the foundation of the movie. Yeah, visual effects is what makes your movie the movie, right? I'm putting a lot of money towards the mass and everything, but the bulk of the money is going towards visual effects. The way you have Ayrton and the Devils, and you have a war that will blow the Lord of the Rings, War out of the Water. Ivan, you're looking at a war that will blow my Helm's War out of the water, Ivan. No, seriously, Ivan, if you think my Wars Lord of the Rings were good, this is going to blow it out of the water. You and your actors are going to be badass movie stars, I know. You're going to be badass, man, fighting all those devils, and you're looking at a beautiful world, too, I know. Beautiful world. Yeah, man. So $666 million is going towards each of the volumes. Yeah. It's a lot of money for Peter. That's an unlimited budget for Peter. In Hollywood, they make movies for like $300, $250, $300 million. And that includes that's before marketing costs, right? This is all included in the movie, yeah. Yeah. Ivan, the amount of money you're putting towards visual effects for one volume is more than my entire Lord of the Rings budget, Ivan. And the budget for volume 1, $66 million, is like my entire budget for the Hobbit trilogy, Ivan. Your company blows out of the water. This is just for one movie, yeah. $666 million going towards one movie. I'm giving you $400 million towards River Fest. Yeah, Ivan Peter, Mike Peter, should I put the bulk of the money? Yeah, Ivan, put the bulk of the money towards River Fest. That's what makes your movie better, Ivan. Because I'm already putting $100 million towards costume armor and weapons. Yeah, that's enough. And I'll put maybe $50 million towards extras and like $40 million towards stuff. That's enough money for the sets and extras. Whereas the bulk of the money is going towards visual effects. That's important. You want to have a beautiful world, and you want to have everything to be devils. You got to pull a lot of money towards the special effects and visual effects. Please, Ivan, if you put $400 towards special effects and visual effects, you're looking at devils, man, for your beings. I'm gonna tell the visual effects team, I want you putting the bulk of the money towards the horror of the wolves, the action sequences, and the world building. That's where the bulk of the money is going, guys. Okay, Ivan, that's what you're saying. And the bulk of the money they blow. Yeah, Ivan, even though $400 million is a lot of money, by the time when post-production starts, the team is gonna burn that money. Yeah, I will burn it all, guys. Yeah, I will burn it. Yeah, okay, Ivan. They burn the whole $400 million going towards the movie, and the movie ends up being an amazing movie. Crazy, Ivan. You're looking at a revolution technology with this kind of budget, Ivan. I know Peter, he's all shocked. A $2 billion budget towards 3-year movies? Holy shit, Ivan. You gave me out the budget. I know Peter, he's all happy. Yeah, looking at a beautiful world. I will blow Lord of the Rings. Ivan, your world will blow my Lord of the Rings world out of the water. And Ivan, if you thought my Helm's Deep world was good, man, your world will blow it out of the water, Ivan. Yeah, Ivan, I'm not limited to what I can do. I can do whatever I want to do for the war, the battle scenes, the horror, the demon wolves and bats, the crows and the eagles, the jaguars and mosquitoes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. 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 Yeah, man. Two-hour video, guys. You're lucky day today. Yeah. I'll upload this video. I'm going to go get my beer and some else. I've enjoyed the show with you guys. I might make another video tonight, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Some sound. That's why Skiv will blow out the water, guys. And Zane's like crazy what I was. That's why, and I will guarantee go world touring. That's something crazy. So I'm going to tell the secretaries, look, man, if ask the people for the world tour, are you just gonna interview Ivan, Peter, Vijay, and the actors like in front of the thousands of fans, or are you gonna do also roundtables and one-on-one interviews? No, Ivan, we're gonna do roundtables and one-on-one interviews. Okay, if they're gonna do roundtables and one-on-one interviews and group interviews with the actors, one-on-one interviews with Peter and Guillermo del Toro, I'll bring like 3 of my cameramen with me to film that. Only film that, but everything else I'm not gonna film. Yeah. Obviously. The roundtable interviews, which they most likely will. No, we want to do roundtable interviews too with you, VJ, and all the actors and Peter. One-on-one interviews with Peter and Guillermo del Toro. Yeah. I'll show you guys again the idea for the Buzzman. It's something crazy. Yeah. Something crazy, you know what I'm saying?
Is this the movie you set out to make?
People don't realise really how close this film came to not happening.
Lord of the Rings is this the movie you set out to make?
People don't realise really how close this film came to not happening.
Lord of the Rings is without a doubt the greatest trilogy in movie history. amazing about it is that you have made 3 films in one.
They've taken a gamble that I think will probably go down in history as one of the all-time Hollywood gambles.
The Lord of the Rings can make some history.
It's a clean sweep. The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. So for my company, there is no awards, right? I'm not in the Hollywood system. But people tell me, Ivan, if your company was associated with Hollywood, you'd be guaranteed saying I'd be winning my director Oscar, Ivan, my second Oscar. Yeah, the actors would be winning Oscars if Xanus was a part of Hollywood, man. Because Xanus is an amazing story. It's better than Lord of the Rings, man. People tell me, yeah, Ivan, your story is better than my Lord of the Rings. You're looking at a deeper, more powerful story. Yes, Peter, more powerful story. It's better than Lord of the Rings. Yeah, man. You'll see what I mean with my book. I wrote a masterpiece, man. My book is better than Lord of the Rings. You know, Ivan, your book is better than Lord of the Rings. It's a complex story, but Ivan, your book is much more easier to follow. Like, Ivan, we can actually follow your book page by page. Whereas Lord of the Rings, you can't do that. Lord of the Rings, Jared Tolkien has so many things going on every page. Yeah, Jared Tolkien has so many things going on every page. You can't really adapt it page to page. And if you did adapt it page to page, Lord of the Rings would be like a 6-7 movie trilogy. It's a long. Jared Tolkien has so many things going on every page. It's crazy. Some Sarah? Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, remember that clip I showed you? Yeah, looking at crazy buzz like that. You know, if we want to interview Peter one-on-one, we get him all Toro, your director, Ivan. Okay, I'll have like 2 of my cameramen come and they'll film all that. But the interview with the thousands of fans, I'm not filming that. That's behind the scenes. But the round table interviews and like the group interviews with the actors and one-on-one interviews with Peter, you can film that. Obviously. Some Sarah? And I'll release it during post-production. So once the World 2 is done, I'll have the people have the document, have the file ready, and I release it for you guys to watch. The roundtable interviews, you're looking at, I don't know, like 10 hours of interviews, something crazy. A lot of things to be excited for. You have that, you have the documentary, you have the game, it's crazy. The trends, the Sky Source News, it's crazy. Yeah, man. Some Sarah? Yeah. 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 Remember how you saw Steven, the Steven guy? He's like, Lord of the Rings, the best movie trilogy of all time. Yeah, and you see the critics rating and all that stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. Think something crazy that for Xanus, man. It's crazy, man. I don't have to worry about the online hate and the critics in the public eye, obviously. Behind the scenes, people will be judging my movie, obviously. Behind the scenes, it's crazy. That's why when Peter Jackson gets interviewed and all that stuff, we'll get him all Toro. They're going to be asking him all these questions and grilling him, man. And Peter will be a bit nervous. Peter, you nervous? Yeah, of course I'm a bit nervous. There's a lot of pressure on my hands. Yeah, Peter's under a lot of pressure, man. He's under a lot of pressure. Peter Jackson, he's under a lot of pressure, Peter. Yeah. He's under a lot of pressure. Yeah, him and Guillermo del Toro, because they're my directors. And I'll be under a lot of pressure because I'm the one who made the choice to hire Peter and Guillermo del Toro. And I also co-wrote the script with them. That's why they're also going to grill me. They're going to grill VJ. They're also going to interview the actors and grill them too. And the actors are a bit nervous, obviously. Yeah, I'm a bit nervous. I'm used to this. In Hollywood, they interview me all the time. Yeah, they're nervous, obviously. Guaranteed they will be doing roundtables with me, VJ, Peter, and all the actors. And they interview Peter one-on-one with Guillermo del Toro. Yeah, it's crazy. And they grill Peter with asking him all these questions. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Some film critics might want to interview Peter behind the scenes. Yeah. And Guillermo del Toro and me and VJ, yeah, behind the scenes though, not in the public eye. They might want to interview us. Yeah, it's crazy. Peter's a bit nervous, obviously. Yeah. He's excited, obviously, but he's a bit nervous because he's under extreme pressure. Him and Guillermo del Toro are under extreme pressure because they're the ones who directed the movie, man. They're directing the movie. They directed the movie. That's why they're under a lot of pressure. Like, I hope this movie's good. Yeah, Peter will know how good the movie is when he watches the rough cut of the movie. Obviously, yeah. Ivan, the movie's amazing, man. We don't have to do pickup shoes. The movie's amazing, Ivan. Me and Guillermo del Toro, we watched the rough cut. It's amazing, Ivan. It's an amazing movie. I know, Peter. We don't have to do pickup shoes, Ivan. It's good. I took my notes and everything. It's good. We don't have to do pickup shoes, Ivan. Okay, Ivan, you have to trust me. I watched the movie. It's an amazing movie, man. It's a masterpiece. It's good. Okay, Peter, I trust you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because Peter is a perfectionist, he might want to do pickup shoots. But I don't feel like spending any more money, obviously. I already blew $2 billion of my money. I don't want to spend any more money, man. Yeah. Some Sarah? Yeah. Yeah. That's why I couldn't boil the water. And Xanus was the best way for me. Yeah. So you don't want that Hobbit look for Xanus? No. Mike, Peter, I don't want your Hobbit look for Xanus. That's why I don't want digital IMAX cameras, Peter. I want film ones. I would get more of the natural look. And I don't want Eritat them to be full CGI characters. I want the actors wearing the costume and the mask. That way they look more natural. Because I'm applying $400 million towards visual effects, they look amazing too. So if you don't want them looking too natural, like Lord of the Rings, no. I'm going to mix the practical effects with the special effects, Peter. We apply the $100 million for special effects towards Eritat in them, and they're devils. They look amazing. They look a bit more natural. They don't look computed. They don't have that computer look like Azog. Because if you have Eritat be a full CGI character, he'll be a devil, obviously, but you're going to get that computer look like Azog, and the movie won't be as good. And if Peter relies on full CGI for the war, you're going to get something like The Hobbit, and the movie won't be that good, man. I do not like that computer look for your war in The Hobbit, Peter. I see what you're saying. It looks a bit computery. Yes, Peter. You compare the Hobbit War to Helm's Deep, you see a huge difference, man. Helm's Deep, it looks much better. The Hobbit War, the Hobbit 3 War, it looks very computery, man. I don't like that look. Yeah, but I can CGI is where it's at. I'm like, Peter, I don't want full CGI Eritat. I don't want full CGI army, man. For Lord of the Rings, you use a technology massive to create your army, obviously. For my movie, I can afford to have extras. We don't have to have a massive program for it. Yeah, Peter, we don't have to have the master program. We can just have the extras. Yeah, and if you have thousands of extras for the war, you're looking at a much better war. You're looking at a much better war. It'll look more real because they're real extras. But when you apply the visual effects awards, it's amazing. It's something unheard of. Yeah, for the war. But the eagles and crows, that's fine. We can have those beings be full CGI. So the eagles and crows will be full CGI, obviously. The stags, full CGI. The horses, I can have real horses. I don't have to have CGI horses. I can have real horses. Yeah. Samsara? That's why Xanus will have crazy roll by bus, man. It's crazy. Yeah. And you think John Campy or Rob Everett go crazy and like Ray Aura and like Critical Drinker, you know what I'm saying, Midnight Edge and Star Wars News are going crazy for these Star Wars shows coming out, Star Wars movies, Superman coming out, nothing. They're going absolute bonkers for Xanus, man. They're going crazy. Holy fucking shit. I can't wait to see that trailer. Oh my fucking god. They're going crazy, yeah. Crazy for Xanus, man. There's no more doubles. Yeah, man. There's no more doubles, yeah. Yeah, remember that clip I showed you yesterday with Faramir in Lord of the Rings? Yeah, you know how Faramir in Lord of the Rings, he looked a bit scared? Yeah, previously, Ivan, Faramir was scared in my Lord of the Rings movie, and those orcs were not that scary. They were pretty freaky, obviously. A PG-13 air attack will be pretty freaky. It'll be very formidable, pretty freaky, but you're going to defeat the purpose of the story. I want Aerith to be a radar devil. Imagine, like, you get that scene with Faramir, he's a bit scared, and you have devils approaching that look like this, man. I'll show you the picture again. So let's count out soon, guys. I've talked for almost 2 hours, guys. I'm getting tired. It is lucky, yeah, I made another 2-hour video for you guys. Yeah, devils like this. So imagine Faramir, me and the actors being scared of devils like this, man. Demons like that approaching, yeah, man. Devils. Devils like that. See that? Yeah. Devils are that approaching, guys. Imagine that. With demons. Like, can you imagine, like, I don't know, you see a bunch of wolves approaching and you see the actors are brave and they look like this, man. The devils. Look at that, man. A devil like that, yeah. Holy shit, man. Please don't die. Yeah, man. They're bad. The wolves are badass fighters, too. They're amazing fighters. But the Northerns are amazing fighters, too, because they're trained in the arts. So you see John Maega? Yeah, I might do a thing for the Mike Peter for the scene with Cassius and Tacitonius and their 50 men when they fight the 25 wolves. We can make a few changes in the book. The wolves approach from the trees. We could do a thing where the wolves are approaching. They see them and they hide. They hide and they're a bit scared, and they fight the wolves. You can make a few changes if you want. Something like you're as good as war. We can do that to make more interesting. Yeah, you can do that. Like he's like the wolves are here, and you add some stuff in the war to make it interesting, obviously. So think about this. Faramir was scared for those PG-13 orcs that were not that scary. Well, imagine in my movie you have devils looking like that, and they're approaching, and they're badass fighters. They're psychotic devils, and they're fucking scary, and the actors are all like scared and they're brave. Like you see John Boyega and Jimbo Ansui's brave. They're brave men with their 50 men, and they fight for fullness 25 blows. And they're approaching, yeah, man. Previous, I'm looking at matches. You have devils like that, man. Even if you put $400 million towards visual effects and special effects, and all that money towards the match, you're looking at something even scarier than that. That clip you showed me, Ivan. You're looking at a realization of horror. Yeah, realization of horror. Devils. That's why it's going to be a masterpiece. The best movie just ever made. Yeah, man. It'll be at Lord of the Rings. Yeah, man. You'll see what I mean. My book, guys. I wrote a masterpiece. That's why Skiv will be better in Hollywood, and Xanus will be the best movie ever made. Anyways, guys, I talked for 2 hours and 13 minutes. Wow, it's good enough. I hope you guys enjoyed this show I made. Stay tuned. I'll make a video tomorrow after my shift at Coco 40, or I might make another video now. I highly doubt it. I'm probably gonna watch Brad's final walkthrough of Assassin's Creed. This is Idamer. I'm signing out. Peace, guys. Talk to you soon. I hope you guys enjoy this amazing show about Skies and Zane's, guys. Peace out, guys. Don't hate him, son.